morning, all of you. We will continue with the civics chapter. What is democracy? Why democracy? Alright, so during the course of this chapter, we had a look at the basic definition of democracy, and then we have discussed on that and got the four features of democracy. And now we will move on. So, what is democracy? We have discussed. Now we move on to the second part, that why democracy. Okay, what is democracy is clear. Now the question is why democracy. So an argument, it broke out in Madam Lindo's class, and they have just finished the first section of the chapter, what is democracy. And so she asked the students that what they thought, that whether democracy was the best form of government that we had or not. And so all the students, they had to say something. Now Yolanda, she said that we live in a democratic country, and we have also read that people throughout the world, they want democracies. And countries that were not democracies earlier, now they are becoming democracies. And all the people, when you talk to them, so they have nice things to say about democracy. And so she is like that, isn't it obvious, when everyone is following it, when everyone is accepting it, so isn't it obvious that it is the best form of government? Then why we need to debate? So another student says that but Madam Lindo, she has said that we should not accept anything just because it is famous, or because everyone else is following it, or everyone else is accepting it. And now it may be possible also that everyone could be following the wrong path. So Jenny, she says that yes, actually it is the wrong path. Democracy is the wrong path. And what has democracy brought to our country? And more than half a century of democracy, and still we are so poor. Still there is so much poverty in the country. So another student, Rubiang, he says that, but if we are poor, there's poverty in our country, so what has democracy got to do with that? Now, do we have poverty because we are democracy, or we have poverty in despite being a democracy? So is it that we are poor only because we are democracy, so we are poor, or we are poor despite being a democracy? So obviously there are two different things. So Jenny is like that, it does not make any difference. The point is that democracy, it cannot be the best form of government. Why? Because in democracy there is so much chaos, means there is so much confusion, there is so much disorder. And there is instability. Every now and then the government changes, there is so much corruption, there is mudslinging, and there is hypocrisy. People, they pretend to have such high moral order, moral values, and they are such high moral standards, but in reality that is not the case. And most of the time the politicians, they are fighting among themselves. And she is like that, who cares for the country? They are basically concerned about themselves only. So another student, Poemon, he says that, so what should we do instead? Should we go back to British rule, and should we invite some kings to rule over us? So another student, Rose, she says that, I don't know, but I think that what this country needs is a strong ruler. Now someone who does not, some ruler who does not have to bother about elections and about the parliament. And one leader, he should have all the powers, and then he should be able to do what is necessary and what is needed for the country's interest. And this way alone we can remove corruption and poverty from the country. So Rose is like that, we need a strong leader, someone who should not be bothered and concerned about elections and parliament, and one leader having all powers in his hand, and then only he can do what is required for the country, and this only can remove corruption and poverty. But someone shouted in the class, but that is dictatorship, and that really is dictatorship. Now, so Hoy, he also says something. He says that, what if the person, if that one particular individual, now he starts using all the powers for himself and his family, and what if the person is corrupt himself? So Rose is saying, the Rose said that, no, I am speaking about only honest, sincere and strong leader. So Hoy says that, that is not fair. How can you compare a real democracy with an ideal dictatorship? Now you are saying ideally that I'm talking about only honest, sincere, and strong leader. But that is ideal dictatorship. In reality, it is not so. So she's saying, he says that you are comparing a real democracy with an ideal dictatorship, and we should either compare an ideal with an ideal or real with real. And so he says that go and check the record of dictators in real life. See the dictators that we have, and they are found to be most corrupt, selfish, and brutal also. And it is just that we don't get to know, and though they are like that, but we don't get to know much about this. And because they control the press and everything, so they don't allow any such news to leak out and to be published. So they says that is, and though they are corrupt and selfish, and they are very brutal also, they kill so many people also, but still we don't get to know about them. And the worst part is that you cannot even change the dictators. So once they are in power, you cannot change them. So now, madam, the teacher, she was listening to this whole conversation with interest, and now she steps in the discussion and says that she tells them that I was so happy to see all of you putting up your views so passionately, and she says that I don't know who is right and who is wrong. Now that is for you all to settle, that what is right and what is wrong, whether democracy is the best form of government or not. But she said that I did feel, the teacher said to the students that, but when you all were discussing, so I felt that all of you wanted to speak your mind, means all of you wanted to put forward your views and your opinions. And now if someone had tried to stop you, or if someone had punished you for saying what you wanted or for saying what you felt, then how would you have felt? And then she says that, would you be able to do that in a country that is not democracy? Means, will you be able to speak your mind or speak your views and opinions in a non-democratic country? And then she says that, don't you think this is a good argument for democracy, or this is a good argument in favor of democracy? Okay, so now that leads us to the next topic, arguments against democracy. Means, arguments against democracy are basically the demerits of democracy. Let's see. Now through this conversation among the students and all, we get to most of the arguments that we hear against democracy. And so let us hear some of the demerits that people say democracy has. Now leaders, they keep changing in a democracy, so this leads to instability. Many times, obviously, after every particular 5-year or 6-year term, the government changes, and many times, when there's a coalition government, it is not a very stable government, and the other parties, they are trying to pull down the government. So there is not much stability. The government also keeps on changing, and it is not a very stable government. Then democracy is all about competition. It is a competition among the different political parties, the different people, all right, the different leaders. And so because it is about competition, so everyone wants to win. And in that they use even bad things, wrong things, bad measures. And so there is no scope for morality. It is only about competition and to be in power, and for that people do everything. So there is no scope, there is no room for moral values. Then one more argument or a demerit of democracy is that in a democracy, so many people have to be consulted, and at every stage there are so many bodies, and so you have to consult, everything has to be consulted with so many people, their opinions and everything, it counts. And so what happens, it lead to delays. You cannot go take a decision very fast and quick, because there are the procedures have to be followed, discussions have to be done, and so it leads to delays. Then sometimes the leaders who are elected, they do not know what basically the people want. They do not know the interest of the people, and many times they don't even want to work for the interest of the people. And so it leads to bad decisions, because many time elected leaders, they don't know what the people really want, and so it can lead to bad decisions. Then democracy, it leads to corruption also. Why corruption? Because it is based on competition. So like we did the second point here, now because it is all about competition, so just to win, people resort to wrongdoings, all right, dirty tricks to win elections, to win the competition. And then many ordinary people don't know what is good for them. They should not decide anything. And basically, who are these people who in the government, in a democracy? Now they are just common people only whom we elect, all right. They are just our representatives. So many times these ordinary people, they do not know that what is good for them. So how can they decide? Now if the people don't know what is good for them, so how can they decide? So these are normally the arguments which are given against democracy, or the demerits of democracy. Now can you think of some other arguments against democracy? Now which of these arguments apply mainly to democracy, and which of these can apply to misuse of any form of, now which of these can only be applied to democracy, and which can be applied to all the other forms of government, and which of these do you agree with? So there are some questions for you. Now to conclude, while having a look, after having a look at all these demerits, now we can say that democracy is not a magical solution. It is not magic that it will lead to the solution of all the problems. No, it will not do that. And it has not ended poverty in our country and even in other parts of the world. Democracy, as a form of government, what it ensures, that the people will take their own decisions. Now it won't be that somebody else whom they have not elected, that will take decisions for them. No, it will not be the case. But democracy, it ensures that people, those who are to be ruled, now they will take their own decisions. Now even if the people are taking their own decisions, now that does not guarantee that the decisions will be good only, all right. Now people make mistakes, all of us makes mistakes, and so decisions can be wrong also. And when you involve the people in these decision making process and all, so obviously it will lead to delays in decision making. And that is also true that in a democracy, there are so many frequent changes in leadership, and sometimes it can it can give a setback to the big decisions, and can also affect the government, the efficiency of the government. But these arguments, basically they show that the kind of democracy that we see is not the ideal form of government. But the question that we face is that is not the question that we face in real life, that whether the democracy that we have is ideal or not. The real question we face is entirely different, and that question is democracy better than other forms of government that are there for us to choose from? Is really democracy better than monarchy and dictatorship and military rule or not? Now that is the real question. So let's see. Now we move on to some arguments in favor of democracy. So arguments against democracy, demerits. Arguments for democracy are the merits of democracy. Okay, now China had a famine 1958 to 1961, and this is recorded as the world's worst famine in the history. And in this famine, nearly 3 crore people died. Imagine 1958 to 1961, and at that time 3 crore people dying in a single country. Now during those days, our economic condition was also not very good, and just a few years back we had gained our independence, and so even India's economic condition was not much better than that of China. Yet India, it did not have a famine of the same kind that China did. Now economists, they think that this was the result because of the different types of government in India and China, and the policies of the government in these two nations. Now because we had a democracy in our country, so it made the Indian government so democracy. Because there's democracy, so people, they forced the government to respond to the scarcity of food which people were facing. So they pressurized the opposition parties and the people also, they pressurized the government to do something for them and to look to this food scarcity and provide food to the people in a way that the Chinese government did not. So the people here, the because we had democracy, so the government, it responded to food scarcity in such a way in which the Chinese government, it did not. And they, the economists, they also say that no large scale famine has ever taken place in an independent and a democratic country. Now why is that? We'll move that to later. But now what they say is that if China also, now if they also had a multi-party system in their country, and there would be many parties contesting elections and also an opposition party to criticize the working of the ruling government, then they say that so many people may have not died in the famine. Now that is why in India what happened, because we had a democracy, and so there was opposition party and the people also, because the people are the leaders in the democracy, the rulers in the democracy are the ones, are our representatives, they are elected by us, and they had to work for us, otherwise they know that in the next election they will not be elected. So the people, they are forced to work, these rulers, these governments in a democracy, they are forced to work for the welfare of the people. And this examples brings out one of the reasons why democracy is considered to be the best form of government. Why? Because democracy is better than any other form of government in responding to the needs of the people. Means when they had to respond, if the people have some needs and interests and demands, then democracy responds in the best way. And now a non-democratic government, it can respond to the needs of people, but it depends on them, it depends on the wishes of the person who is ruling. So it depends on the wishes of the person. Now if he wants to respond to the needs of the people, he will. But if they don't want to, then obviously you cannot force them to work for the welfare or for the wishes of the people. But a democracy, it requires, it is mandatory in a democracy that the rulers, they have to attend to the needs of the people, because if they will not, then obviously they will not be elected the next time. And so we get to the first merit of democracy, that a democratic government is a better government. Why? Because it is a more accountable form of government, means more answerable form of government, because we have elected them, and so they are answerable to us. So that is the first merit of democracy. Now there is another reason why democracy, it leads to better decisions than any non-democratic government, because democracy, it is based on discussion and consultation. Now in a democracy, any decision whenever it is taken, it involves so many people, and there are discussions and deliberations and meeting, and when so many people, they are discussing together, so many people, they put their head together, then they come up with different things, and they can even point out all the possible mistakes. Now if there's only one person, each person has your own point of view, own way in which they see things. So now if so many people would be involved, so everyone would have a different view, then you get to know all the views of a particular aspect, or a particular problem, and then you can even point out, okay, what problems could arise from this particular situation. So like if one person is there, now obviously he can only tell a little bit, but then when there are so many people involved, so they can tell about, or they can point out to all the possible mistakes in any decision. Now though this takes time, obviously this takes time, but there's a big advantage in taking time over important decisions. And now this also reduces the chances of taking a rash or a irresponsible decision. And so what we can say is, as the second merit of democracy, that democracy, it improves the quality of decision making. The decision which are made in a democracy are bound to be better as compared to the other forms of government. Now this is also related to the third argument, which is in favor of democracy, that democracy, it provides a way to deal with differences and conflicts. Now in any society, any country, there are bound to be difference of interest and clashes, difference of and so there'll always be conflict between people, and there'll be so many opinions and so many interests of different people. And these differences, they can be very sharp in a country like India, where we have so much social diversity. And we here have people living in different regions and speaking different languages, following different religions, having different castes and traditions and cultures and all. And so these people living in India, though we live in the same country, but we look at the world differently, and we also have very different preferences because of the differences that we have. So our preferences are also different, and the way we look at things are also different. So what we want will also be different. Now, how to resolve such a conflict? How to resolve this? Now, this can also be resolved by, oppressive power or brutal power, means whichever group is more powerful or whichever group is in majority. Now, if they try to dictate their terms and then, and make sure that the others have to listen to them, and so what will happen, this would lead to unhappiness and resentment among the rest of the people. And the different groups who are oppressed in such a manner, or the minorities or less powerful groups, for a long time they won't be able to live in such a manner. And it could even lead to the disunity or disintegration of the country. And so democracy, it provides the only peaceful solution to the problem. Why? Because in a democracy, no one is a permanent winner and no one is a permanent loser. Those who are in power today, now tomorrow, or they could be loser, and yesterday also they could have been in the loser category, but now today they are in the winner category. So in a democracy, no one is a permanent winner and no one is a permanent loser. And so that is why people know that also. And so different groups, they can live with one another peacefully. And so in a diverse country like India, it is democracy that keeps our country together. Now, all right, so have you understood till here? All these three arguments
Yes,
in
ma'am.
favor of democracy
Yes,
and the
Yes,
drawbacks
ma'am.
also. Is it
yes,
all clear?
ma'am.
Okay, so for
Yes,
today we will stop here, because
yes,
if
ma'am.
I begin the other point, I will not be able to complete it in time. So for today we'll stop here.